Why was the US in the 70s more technologically competent than 80 of nations today? It takes capital, and lots of it, to produce something like aircraft technological skills, for example metallurgists, engineers, chemists, etc. Organization big Western countries have developed all three over centuries. Countries like China have gotten there too, more recently, but China is a really big country, population-wise. Iran has a big enough population, maybe 90 million, more than Britain, but not so much of the three qualities above, and being a theocracy, it's probably harder to develop an organization like that without a lot of state intervention. The US, in particular, has a ton of all of those things and is a haven for money from much of the rest of the world, so it gets a lot of investment. And that's been true for, I don't know, 150 years at least. Our limitation is that US labor is expensive. Didn't the Brits invent the jet engine and radar? No one's mentioning the war then. On top of whatever everyone else had said, we consistently have been pumping an absolute fuck ton of money into military spending for years and years now. Helps when you have the proper funds to do research and pay top-tier scientists. Odd that of all the things you mentioned, none of them were American inventions or even American firsts. Money, money, money. Also, the US didn't have to use so much of their productivity on fixing infrastructure after WW2, so that was about 2 decades of extra resources for technological advancement. The US was given jet engine tech by the Brits, as well as radar, among other things. They didn't invent them. Money, and the drive for military advancement to rival the other world superpowers. Overachieving nationalism lead to great success in technological advances for being the strongest military in the world. Because capitalism works, and a stupid amount of money goes to research and development, it pays to be a winner. Germany introduced jet engine in 1939, Russia satellite in 1957. There is a hint of irony asking this question on a platform programmed in Python, version controlled by Git, and running on Linux servers. The US led in 70s tech thanks to huge R&D funding, stellar universities, and a strong collaboration culture. Other countries often lack this combo, making high-tech achievements like the F-14 a tough bake. One thing I don't see immediately is interest. For example, Iran is currently the missile capital of the world, maybe beaten by the US. Why would Iran try to make fighter jets? They don't need advanced fighter jets for regional conflicts in the Middle East, because their regional enemies don't have the air capabilities to require advanced fighter jets. Globally, Iran is so far behind in terms of quantity that even if they developed their own fighter jets, there is no point fielding them against the US. They just wouldn't be able to make enough. So instead, Iran focuses on drones and missiles. They are estimated to have the biggest drone and missile stockpiles in the world, and they have some of the most advanced drones and missiles in the world. Why play catch-up when you can just win a different game? Millennium Challenge 2002 https://and.wikipedia.org Wiki Millennium Challenge 2002. Look at USA's military budget compared to every other country's. That's your answer. Because Germans left their country for the USA before, during, and after WW2. You may not like this answer, but literally ex-Nazis. Operation Paperclip provided a huge technological advantage after WW2 after the US imported many experts to jumpstart our space program. Experts in rocketry helped enable the missiles, rockets, satellites you mentioned, as well as have the US a huge advantage in the jet age, as Nazi Germany also perfected the jet engine fighter. Russia benefited as well, as they also scooped up some of the technical people fleeing the collapsing Third Reich. The US introduced jet engines in 1942, a decade late and a continent away. Operation Paperclip gave us a leg up and put us on the moon. Because of war. I think a big part of it had to do with the fact that the GI Bill sent tons of World War II veterans to college who might not have ever had the opportunity prior. Add to that the fact that the United States was dominating the world in manufacturing and trade because a lot of Europe was devastated after the war. Another factor is that American culture encourages risk-taking and innovation. When you add all of those factors together, you get the space program, advancements in electronics, breakthroughs in medicine, and innovations in computers. They are either geographically screwed, or they are too busy being exploited and dealing with political turmoil, either from their own undoing or another country's.